Ladies and gentlemen, throughout history, relationships have thrived on mutual respect, understanding, and a touch of mystery. Women, being naturally emotional and nurturing, often share everything with their partners. However, wisdom tells us that not everything should be revealed. There are certain aspects of a woman's life that must remain private, not out of deceit, but to maintain self-respect, dignity, and emotional balance. Today, I want to share with you 3 things that every woman should keep to herself when dealing with a man. These are not secrets of manipulation, but rather pillars of self-preservation. Hiding insecurities protects a woman from being manipulated or taken for granted, because not everyone she shares them with will handle them with care. In any relationship, vulnerability is a natural part of emotional bonding, but there is a fine line between healthy openness and exposing oneself to potential harm. A woman's insecurities are deeply personal, and while it is tempting to share them with a man in hopes of receiving comfort or reassurance, not every man will respond in the way she expects. Some may use her insecurities against her, intentionally or unintentionally, while others may begin to see her differently, less as a strong, confident individual, and more as someone who is emotionally fragile or dependent on external validation. When a woman openly expresses all her fears and self-doubts, she risks giving away a sense of power over her own self-worth. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can possess, and even when someone has insecurities, as everyone does, how they handle them determines how others perceive them. If a woman constantly voices doubts about her looks, her abilities, or her worthiness, over time she may start to be seen through the lens of those insecurities. Instead of being admired for her strengths, she may be pitied or in some cases even subtly disrespected. People are drawn to those who exude self-assurance. And while moments of vulnerability are natural, repeatedly emphasizing insecurities can shift the dynamics of a relationship in an unintended way. There is also the unfortunate reality that not everyone has good intentions. Some men, whether consciously or subconsciously, may take advantage of a woman's insecurities. If a woman openly shares her fear of being alone, of not being good enough, or of being abandoned, a manipulative person may use those fears to control her. He may make her feel that he is the only one who will accept her despite her flaws, creating an unhealthy power imbalance, where she feels obligated to tolerate behaviors she otherwise wouldn't. A woman who knows her worth and guards her insecurities carefully is less likely to be manipulated or treated as an option rather than a priority. Protecting insecurities does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending to be invulnerable. Rather, it is about choosing the right time, the right person, and the right way to express them. A woman should have trusted friends, family members, or even professionals with whom she can share her deepest fears without the risk of judgment or exploitation. In a romantic relationship, revealing insecurities gradually and in a balanced way ensures that emotional intimacy develops without compromising one's self-respect. A man who truly loves and respects a woman will be patient and understanding without needing to know every single worry she carries. A woman's inner strength comes from how she handles her struggles. And while seeking support is important, making her insecurities the defining aspect of a relationship can be damaging. She must learn to uplift herself first, to find validation from within rather than relying solely on external reassurance. This not only empowers her, but also ensures that she remains in control of her own emotions and self-worth rather than placing them entirely in someone else's hands. Confidence is attractive. Oversharing insecurities can lower a woman's perceived value because the way a person presents themselves greatly influences how others see and treat them. While everyone has insecurities, constantly voicing them in a relationship can shift the dynamics in an unintended way. A woman who frequently expresses doubts about her looks, intelligence, or capabilities may start to be seen more for her weaknesses than her strengths. Confidence is one of the most powerful traits a person can have. And even when someone has self-doubts, how they manage them determines the level of respect and admiration they receive from others. If a woman continuously talks about her flaws or anxieties instead of gaining sympathy, she may unknowingly diminish the sense of attraction and respect her partner has for her. There is a difference between occasional vulnerability and making insecurity a central part of one's identity. While it is natural to seek reassurance from a partner, relying too heavily on external validation can lead to an unhealthy dynamic. A man who is constantly expected to affirm his partner's worth may start to feel emotionally drained or pressured, which can lead to frustration over time. Instead of being seen as an equal partner in the relationship, a woman who overshares her insecurities might be viewed as emotionally dependent, making the relationship feel more like a burden than a healthy bond. People are drawn to those who are self-assured and comfortable in their own skin, and while imperfections are part of being human, the way they are handled makes a significant difference in how others perceive them. Additionally, revealing too many insecurities too soon can make a woman vulnerable to manipulation. Not everyone has good intentions, and some men may use a woman's fears and self-doubts to control or diminish her confidence further. If a woman constantly expresses a fear of being alone, being unworthy, or being compared to others, she may unintentionally give the wrong person the power to exploit those fears. A confident woman who acknowledges her insecurities privately while working on self-improvement maintains control over her emotional well-being and prevents herself from being treated as less valuable. Confidence does not mean perfection. It means understanding one's worth without the need for constant reassurance. A woman who carries herself with quiet self-assurance is respected, admired, and valued in ways that go beyond mere physical attraction. Disclosing full financial status can lead to exploitation or influence a man's motives, because money plays a significant role in relationships, and not everyone approaches financial matters with genuine intentions. A woman's financial independence is her security, and while it is natural to discuss finances in a committed relationship, revealing too much too soon can create unexpected complications. Some men, when they realize a woman is financially well off, may start to see her as a provider rather than as an equal partner. Instead of valuing her for who she is, they may begin to expect her to take on financial responsibilities that should be shared, or use her success to their advantage. This can lead to an imbalance where a woman finds herself being taken for granted, pressured into providing financial support, or even used by someone who prioritizes her wealth over her character. Money can also affect power dynamics in a relationship. If a woman openly discusses her earnings, savings, or assets too soon, she might unintentionally shift the way her partner views the relationship. Some men may feel intimidated by a financially independent woman, leading to insecurity, resentment, or a passive attitude where they stop putting in effort. Others may become overly dependent, expecting her to take on a larger share of expenses or financial burdens simply because she is capable. A woman should always ensure that her financial independence is protected, not just in practical terms, but also in the way it influences the relationship's balance. Financial transparency is important in serious long-term commitments, but it should be introduced gradually and wisely, ensuring that a partner values the relationship itself rather than any financial advantage it might bring. Furthermore, disclosing financial details too soon can attract the wrong kind of attention. Some individuals, whether intentionally or subconsciously, may be drawn to a person because of financial security rather than genuine emotional connection. A woman who is financially successful should be cautious about how and when she shares that information to ensure that her partner values her for the right reasons. Love and commitment should be based on mutual respect, trust, and shared values, not on financial expectations or dependency. A smart woman protects her financial independence by keeping certain details private until she is sure that her partner sees her as an equal rather than an opportunity. The past should remain in the past. Oversharing personal history can lead to unnecessary judgments because not everyone is capable of viewing past experiences with an open mind. While it is natural to want to share one's life story with a partner, there is a difference between healthy honesty and disclosing unnecessary details that may cause misunderstandings or create insecurities in the relationship. Every person has a history filled with both good and bad experiences. But constantly bringing up past relationships, mistakes, or hardships can alter the way a partner sees the present. Some men may struggle to separate a woman's past from who she is today, leading to unfair comparisons or assumptions that could strain the relationship. A woman should never feel the need to explain every choice she has made or every challenge she has faced, especially when those details serve no real purpose in strengthening the bond between her and her partner. Another risk of sharing too much about past relationships is the potential for jealousy and insecurity. If a woman frequently discusses her previous partners, even in a neutral or negative light, her current partner may begin to feel inadequate or as though he is being compared. Some men may question whether they measure up to past partners, whether emotionally, physically, or financially, leading to feelings of doubt and resentment. This can create unnecessary tension, especially if the past is repeatedly brought into present conversations. Instead of fostering trust and closeness, oversharing personal history may introduce doubts and hesitations that could have been avoided. Additionally, some details about a woman's past may not be relevant to her current relationship. While honesty is essential in a committed partnership, certain experiences belong to personal growth rather than shared discussion. A woman does not owe anyone a detailed account of her past relationships, financial struggles, or personal mistakes unless they directly impact her present relationship. Some things are better left unspoken, not because they are shameful, but because they hold no value in the progression of love and trust. A wise woman understands that her past does not define her and that the present is where the focus should be. By keeping certain aspects of her history private, she ensures that her partner sees her for who she is today rather than who she once was. A woman should focus on her present and future rather than dwelling on past experiences, because constantly revisiting the past can prevent a relationship from growing in a healthy direction. The experiences a woman has gone through may have shaped her, but they do not determine her worth or future happiness. If she continually brings up old wounds, regrets, or former relationships, she may unintentionally hold herself back from fully embracing the present. A relationship flourishes when both partners are invested in building something new together, rather than being weighed down by past baggage. Dwelling too much on what has already happened may create a cycle of negativity, where the focus remains on what went wrong instead of what can go right. Men are naturally drawn to women who have a positive outlook on life and a sense of forward momentum. If a woman constantly talks about her past mistakes, heartbreaks, or failures, she may be unknowingly positioning herself as someone who has not fully moved on. This can make a man feel as though he is competing with ghosts from the past, rather than being seen as a fresh and exciting part of her journey. A confident woman acknowledges her history, but does not allow it to dictate. She learns from her experiences and uses them to grow, but she does not let them become a constant topic of conversation or a source of insecurity in her relationship. Furthermore, focusing on the present and future strengthens emotional stability. When a woman fixates on the past, she may experience unnecessary guilt, regret, or sadness that could otherwise be avoided. The mind tends to replay past events in ways that can exaggerate their impact, making them seem more significant than they actually are. By shifting her focus to what lies ahead, a woman empowers herself to create new, meaningful experiences rather than being stuck in old patterns. This not only benefits her personal growth but also enhances the quality of her relationship as she brings fresh energy, excitement, and optimism into the connection. A woman who is fully present and future oriented is far more attractive and emotionally balanced than one who constantly looks back. Mystery adds value to a relationship and keeps the spark alive because an element of intrigue naturally sustains attraction. When a woman reveals everything about herself too quickly, there is little left to discover, which can reduce excitement and curiosity in a relationship. People are naturally drawn to things that hold a sense of wonder, and relationships are no different. A woman who maintains a certain level of mystery keeps her partner engaged and interested, as he feels there is always something new to learn about her. This does not mean playing games or being dishonest, but rather allowing moments of gradual discovery to unfold naturally over time. Overexposure of personal thoughts, emotions, and experiences can sometimes diminish a woman's perceived uniqueness. When everything is shared up front, there is no space for gradual bonding, where a partner gets to appreciate different aspects of her personality over time. A relationship that develops steadily, with bits and pieces of personal history being revealed at the right moments, allows for deeper emotional investment. A woman who embraces a sense of mystery encourages a man to remain curious, making the relationship feel fresh and exciting even as time goes on. Additionally, maintaining a degree of privacy shows self-respect and independence. A woman who does not feel the need to disclose every single detail about her life demonstrates confidence in herself. She does not seek validation through constant oversharing, and this self-assurance is attractive. When a woman retains a bit of mystery, she gives her partner the opportunity to earn her trust over time rather than feeling entitled to know everything about her from the beginning. This builds a healthier, more balanced connection where both partners appreciate each other's individuality rather than taking each other for granted. Mystery also contributes to long-term attraction. In many relationships, routine and predictability can sometimes lead to a decrease in excitement. When a woman continues to surprise her partner in small ways, whether through new ideas, unexpected moments of affection, or a fresh perspective on life, it keeps the relationship dynamic and engaging. A relationship should never feel stagnant, and maintaining an element of intrigue ensures that both partners remain invested in discovering new things about each other. A woman who understands the value of mystery naturally creates an environment where love and attraction continue to grow rather than fading over time. A woman's emotions should be handled with care and not always fully expressed, because excessive emotional vulnerability can shift the balance of a relationship. While openness and honesty are important in a healthy partnership, constantly expressing every emotion, particularly negative ones, can sometimes create unnecessary tension. A woman who frequently displays strong emotions, whether it be anger, frustration, sadness, or anxiety, may unintentionally place an emotional burden on her partner. Men in general may not always know how to respond to or process overwhelming emotions, leading to feelings of helplessness or frustration. It is important to recognize that while a partner should provide support, he is not responsible for managing all of a woman's emotional fluctuations. Managing emotions independently, at least to some extent, shows emotional intelligence and strength, which in turn fosters respect and admiration. Another challenge with constantly expressing emotions is that it can make a woman appear unstable or difficult to understand. If a woman frequently reacts emotionally to minor issues, it may create an environment where her feelings are not taken seriously. A man may begin to dismiss her concerns or avoid deep conversations altogether because he associates them with stress or unpredictability. This is why emotional control is essential. It ensures that a woman's thoughts and concerns are communicated effectively rather than getting lost in emotional outbursts. When emotions are expressed thoughtfully and at the right moments, they carry more weight and are more likely to be met with understanding and support. Furthermore, keeping a sense of emotional composure enhances a woman's self-respect and confidence. People who regulate their emotions well are seen as strong and reliable, making them more appealing as partners. While it is perfectly natural to express emotions, doing so in a balanced and measured way prevents unnecessary misunderstandings and keeps the relationship dynamic healthy. A woman who knows when to share her feelings and when to process them privately creates an atmosphere of mutual respect, where emotions do not dominate the connection, but instead enrich it in a meaningful way. Revealing weaknesses too openly can make a woman seem overly dependent or vulnerable because not everyone knows how to handle another person's deepest struggles. In a relationship, it is important to build trust over time rather than immediately exposing personal weaknesses in the hope of receiving unconditional support. While emotional closeness is built on mutual understanding, sharing too much too soon can overwhelm a man and change the way he views the relationship. Some men might feel pressured to become a constant source of emotional stability, which can be exhausting and even create resentment over time. A relationship should be a partnership, not a situation where one person consistently relies on the other to manage their difficulties. Moreover, when a woman reveals too many weaknesses, she risks losing a sense of independence and self-sufficiency. A strong woman understands that while it is okay to seek support, true confidence comes from being able to handle challenges with resilience. A man is naturally drawn to a woman who is capable of standing on her own, even when facing struggles. If she constantly expresses doubts, fears, or insecurities, she may create an impression of emotional fragility, which can affect the overall dynamic of the relationship. Strength does not mean pretending to be emotionless, but rather knowing when and how to share vulnerabilities in a way that fosters deeper connection rather than dependence. There is also the reality that some people may take advantage of exposed weaknesses. Not all men respond with kindness and understanding when faced with a woman's vulnerabilities. Some may use them to manipulate or control her, taking advantage of her fears or self-doubts to gain power in the relationship. A wise woman protects herself by being selective about what she reveals and to whom. She understands that true emotional security comes from within, and she does not rely solely on another person to provide it for her. By maintaining a balance between openness and discretion, she ensures that her weaknesses do not become a tool for someone else's advantage. Not all thoughts should be spoken out loud because words have power, and what is said in the heat of the moment can have lasting consequences. In relationships, impulsive words can create unnecessary misunderstandings or conflicts that could have been avoided with a little restraint. A woman who speaks every thought without filtering it risks hurting her partner, even unintentionally. It is important to recognize that not every criticism, worry, or frustration needs to be vocalized, especially if it does not contribute to the growth of the relationship. While communication is key, knowing when to remain silent is equally valuable. Sometimes, saying too much can weaken a woman's influence in a relationship. If she constantly voices her opinions in an unfiltered way, her words may start to lose impact. A well-timed statement carries far more weight than constant commentary. A woman who understands the power of selective speech ensures that when she does express her thoughts, they are truly heard, and additionally, over-explaining or over-sharing personal thoughts can remove a sense of mystery from the relationship. Men appreciate a woman who holds a certain level of intrigue, someone whose mind and emotions unfold gradually rather than being fully displayed all at once. When every thought is spoken without discretion, there is little left to discover. A woman who carefully chooses her words keeps a man interested and engaged, allowing the relationship to grow naturally rather than feeling predictable or overly familiar too soon. A woman's dreams and goals should be protected until they are solidified because not everyone will understand or support them. Ambitions are deeply personal, and sharing them too soon can invite unnecessary doubts, criticism, or discouragement. While a loving partner should eventually be included in discussions about the future, revealing every aspiration too early can sometimes lead to negative influences. Some men may not share the same vision, and their skepticism or lack of enthusiasm could plant seeds of doubt in a woman's mind. Dreams require nurturing, and exposing them before they have fully developed may weaken their foundation. Additionally, discussing goals prematurely can create unintended pressure in a relationship. If a woman frequently talks about her aspirations, a man may feel obligated to support them, even if he is unsure about how they align with his own path. This can lead to unnecessary conflict or hesitation, especially if the goals require major life changes. By keeping certain dreams private until they are more certain, a woman ensures that she is making decisions based on her true desires rather than external expectations. There is also the risk that some people, even unintentionally, may discourage a woman from pursuing her goals. If a man does not fully believe in a woman's potential, he may subtly discourage her, making her question her own abilities. Ambition is a delicate thing. It thrives in the right environment and diminishes when surrounded by negativity. A wise woman knows that her dreams are precious and should only be shared with those who will uplift and support her. Keeping certain aspirations private allows her to build confidence and momentum without the weight of outside opinions influencing her choices. Moreover, a woman who takes action toward her goals, rather than just talking about them, is more likely to be taken seriously. People admire those who show results rather than simply discussing their plans. By working toward her dreams quietly and revealing them only when they start to take shape, a woman maintains control over her ambitions and prevents unnecessary interference. This not only ensures that she remains focused, but also adds an element of surprise and admiration when she achieves what she set out to do. A woman who guards her dreams carefully creates an environment where her success is a reflection of her own determination rather than the influence of others. A woman should not always reveal the full depth of her independence, because while being strong and self-sufficient is admirable, constantly emphasizing independence can sometimes shift the balance of a relationship. Men are naturally drawn to women who have their own goals, passions, and ambitions, but if a woman frequently highlights that she does not need anyone, a man may begin to feel like there is no space for him in her life. Relationships thrive on mutual support, and while self-sufficiency is an attractive quality, making a partner feel unnecessary can create emotional distance. A man wants to feel valued and appreciated, not like an optional presence in a woman's life. There is a fine line between independence and emotional unavailability. If a woman is too focused on proving she can handle everything alone, she may inadvertently push her partner away. Men want to contribute, protect, and provide in different ways, not just financially, but emotionally and mentally. If a woman constantly asserts that she does not need help, a man may stop offering support altogether, assuming that his role is unnecessary. Over time, this can lead to feelings of disconnect, where he may seek someone who appreciates his presence rather than someone who seems indifferent to it. A healthy relationship allows room for both independence and interdependence, where both partners contribute to each other's lives in meaningful ways. Another reason why a woman should be mindful of how she expresses her independence is that not all men handle it well. While a confident and self-sufficient woman is highly attractive, some men may feel intimidated or insecure if they perceive her as too self-reliant. This is especially true in traditional relationship dynamics, where men may feel that their role is being diminished. A woman should never shrink herself for the sake of making a man feel secure, but she should also recognize that relationships function best when both partners feel like they bring something valuable to the table. Expressing independence in a way that still allows space for partnership creates a healthier dynamic where both people feel appreciated and respected. Moreover, constantly emphasizing independence can sometimes lead to emotional exhaustion. A woman who takes pride in doing everything on her own may find herself feeling overwhelmed even if she does not admit it. True strength is not just about handling everything alone, but also knowing when to lean on someone else for support. Relationships are meant to be partnerships, and allowing a man to contribute emotionally, mentally, or even physically does not make a woman weak. It makes her wise. By finding a balance between self-sufficiency and openness, a woman ensures that her relationship remains strong and fulfilling without unnecessary strain. Lastly, a woman who holds back just a little on displaying her full independence creates an aura of intrigue and attraction. When a man sees that she is capable but still welcomes his presence in her life, it makes him feel valued and respected. The key is not to downplay her strengths, but to present them in a way that encourages mutual support rather than creating unnecessary emotional walls. A woman who embraces both her independence and her ability to connect with others builds a relationship that is based on mutual respect, appreciation, and long-term attraction. A woman should not always reveal all her financial details because money is a sensitive topic that can influence how a relationship develops. While transparency is important in serious commitments, revealing too much about personal finances too soon can lead to unintended consequences. Financial independence is a source of strength, but if a woman openly discusses her earnings, savings, or assets early in a relationship, it may shift the dynamic in ways she did not anticipate. Some men may feel intimidated by a woman who is financially well off, while others may see it as an opportunity to benefit from her resources rather than contributing equally. By keeping financial details private until a relationship has reached a certain level of trust and commitment, a woman ensures that her partner values her for who she is, not for what she has. Another reason to be cautious about revealing financial details is that money can sometimes create an imbalance of power in relationships. If a woman earns significantly more than her partner, openly discussing finances may lead to feelings of inadequacy or resentment. Some men may struggle with the idea of not being the primary provider, which could cause tension over time. Even in modern relationships where equality is emphasized, financial disparities can still impact the way a couple interacts. A woman who is financially successful should never feel the need to downplay her achievements, but she should also be mindful of how and when she shares this information. A strong relationship should be built on mutual respect and connection, not financial comparisons or insecurities. Furthermore, some men may take advantage of a woman's financial situation if they believe she is too generous or open about her resources. While a healthy partnership involves mutual support, there are cases where one person might start relying too heavily on the other's financial stability. A woman who is too forthcoming about her wealth may attract individuals who are more interested in her financial security than in building a genuine emotional connection. This is why it is important to observe a partner's true intentions before discussing financial matters in depth. If a relationship is built on genuine love and respect, financial discussions can take place at the right time, ensuring that both partners are aligned in their values and expectations. Additionally, revealing financial struggles too early can also have negative consequences. If a woman openly shares details about debt, financial setbacks, or other money difficulties, it may cause unnecessary stress in the relationship. Some men may feel pressured to step in and solve financial problems, even if the woman did not ask for help. Others may judge her financial decisions, creating an atmosphere of doubt and criticism rather than support. While it is important to be honest about financial realities in a long-term partnership, there is no need to disclose every detail before trust has been established. Financial matters should be shared gradually, allowing both partners to feel comfortable discussing money without pressure or expectation. Moreover, Financial independence is a valuable asset that should be protected. A woman who keeps certain aspects of her finances private maintains a sense of control over her own financial decisions. Whether she is saving for the future, investing, or simply managing her expenses in a way that suits her lifestyle, she should not feel obligated to justify her financial choices to anyone. Keeping financial details private allows her to maintain autonomy and make decisions based on her own priorities rather than external opinions. Finally, financial privacy helps preserve a sense of equality in a relationship. When money becomes a major topic too early, it can shift the focus away from emotional connection and onto material aspects. A relationship should be based on shared experiences, trust, and mutual support, rather than financial status or expectations. By keeping financial matters private until the right time, a woman ensures that her partner values her for her character, ambitions, and personality rather than for her bank account. In any relationship, balance is key. While openness and honesty are important, there are certain aspects of life that a woman should protect until trust and commitment have been fully established. Not everything needs to be revealed immediately, and maintaining a sense of mystery, independence, and personal boundaries strengthens both the relationship and her own sense of self-worth. A wise woman knows when to share, when to withhold, and how to navigate a partnership in a way that fosters mutual respect and admiration. By being mindful of what she reveals and when, she ensures that her relationship is built on genuine love, trust, and shared values rather than unnecessary pressures or misunderstandings.